Welcome to the Unraveling the Scriptures channel. I'm sure you're already familiar with the story of the renowned giant Goliath, the feared giant of Gatha Philistia. He is undoubtedly the most well-known giant mentioned in the sacred scriptures. However, only a few people are aware of the intriguing details and curiosities about the life of this colossal figure and his family of giants. In this video, we will delve deep into the history and origins of each of Goliath's brothers, the 5 giants who share his bloodline. This is the second part of the series, which was created based on your request and is dedicated to the giants of the Bible. Therefore, I ask you to leave a like, comment, and share this video with friends, family, and anyone else interested in the topic. Join us on this fascinating journey as we explore the history and origin of the 5 giant brothers of Goliath. Although Goliath is the most famous giant mentioned in the Holy Scriptures, there are still many mysteries surrounding his life, family, and origin. Only a few people know the true story behind this terrifying and monstrous giant of the Holy Scriptures. Among the facts and curiosities about his life, there is an aspect that most people who know his story are unaware of: his genetic relatives, specifically his brothers of the same race. For those who are unaware, Goliath had around 5 brothers who belonged to the race of Rephaim giants, also known as Rephate giant. The biblical text reveals that these 5 brothers plotted revenge against King David shortly after learning about the death of their brother Goliath of Gath, who was defeated by King David himself. Filled with rage, these 5 giants sought every possible way to take revenge and destroy the life of the king of Israel. According to some theorists and experts, one of these giants even faced and battled David. However, as we will discuss in detail later in the video, this giant was killed by one of David's warriors' friends. The people represented by the warriors of Israel warned David not to engage in new wars or battles, fearing that other giants would try to take his life without anyone there to help him. The biblical text informs us that after the Israelites left the house of Egypt, where they were in slavery and servitude, they found themselves in Canaan, encountering various Canaanite peoples, tribes, and different races of giants. These giants were incredibly tall, reaching heights of around 10 to 15 feet and widths of an astonishing 6.5 feet. One notable example is King Og of Bashan, who stood approximately 15 feet tall and had a width of 6.5 feet. The body mass was so immense that it required an entire iron bed for support, giving a monstrous appearance. Apart from the Nephilim and the Antikyans, the Bible also mentions another ancient tribe of giants called the Rephaim. They were known to inhabit the region of the Basin, which now corresponds to part of Jordan and Israel. The word Rephaim can be translated as mighty men or giants. Deuteronomy 2:20-21 and 3:11 mention them, and their kingship is associated with Og, the king of the Basin. The Bible also mentions a powerful and tall tribe of giants called the Anakim or Anakites. They inhabited Canaan before the Israelite conquest under Joshua. In Numbers 13:33, the Hebrew spies reported seeing the sons of Anak as giants, which instilled fear and doubt among the Israelites. Many of the giants and races of giants who survived or fled from Joshua and Israel did so because Israel faced and killed many of them, or at least inflicted serious injuries. Most of these giants found refuge in the lands of Philistia, Mesopotamia, neighboring countries, and even migrated to Africa. Legends about these terrifying giants exist in practically all regions of the world and among different peoples, suggesting that not only Canaan but also Mesopotamia, Africa, the Americas, Europe, and India were home to giants in ancient times. Now, let's discuss in detail each of the brothers of Goliath, who were of the same race of giants. The first giant brother of Goliath was named Lahmi, and he was just as massive as Goliath. First Chronicles mentions Lahmi, stating that there was war with the Philistines, and Elhanan, the son of Jair, struck Lahmi, the brother of Goliath the Gittite, with a spear that had a shaft like a weaver's beam. This verse provides some interesting details about Lahmi. One curiosity mentioned is the size and weight of his spear, which was compared to a weaver's beam. This suggests that his spear was extremely heavy and long. Lahmi probably had a similar stature as Goliath, or was around 10 to 10.5 feet tall. The next giant mentioned in the Bible, who was also one of the brothers of Goliath and of the same race of giants, was known as Ishbi-Benob. 2 Samuel 21:16 reports that Ishbi-Benob, one of the sons of the giant Rephaim, had a spearhead that weighed about 300 shekels of bronze, making it incredibly heavy. He also wielded a massive sword, suitable for a giant. Some say that the spearhead alone weighed around 13 to 15 pounds, indicating its substantial weight. Ishbi-Benob attempted to harm and kill David, but David's ally Abishai, son of Zeruiah, came to his rescue and defeated Ishbi-Benob, killing him. It is interesting to note that David personally faced this giant in his second battle against another giant. David, tired of the ongoing fighting, sought help from his nephew Abishi. Abishi defeated Ishbi-Benob, who was Goliath's brother. Based on the size of Ishbi-Benob's weapons and considering him to be a giant, it is likely that he was around 9 to 10 feet tall or even taller. Goliath's third brother, known as Saph, was also a giant of the Rephaite race, as mentioned in the biblical text in Samuel. In another war against the Philistines, Sibbecai the Hushathite defeated Saph, who was also one of the sons of the giant in the Rephaite race. As for Saph's stature, it is highly likely that he was a similar height, or slightly smaller, or larger than the giant Goliath himself. It is quite possible that Saph was about 6 cubits, approximately 9 to 10 feet in height. The text also mentions another giant of the same race as Goliath from Gath, also called Goliath but known as Goliath Githis. According to Samuel Elhanan, the son of Jareth the Bethlehemite, defeated Goliath the Gittite, whose spear was like a weaver's rod. Similar to Goliath's other brothers, this giant also had a spear that resembled a weaver's rod and was most likely about 10 feet tall. What is most intriguing about this giant is that his name is the same as the giant Goliath that King David faced and killed, but in this case, he is referred to as Goliath the Gittite, not Goliath of Gath. The biblical text reveals that Goliath had 4 brothers, but there was also a 5th brother described as a colossal giant. Though not named, information about him can be found in Samuel. This giant had a tall stature and 6 toes on each hand and foot, totaling 24 toes in all. He too belonged to the Rephaim race. This unnamed giant's immense size and extra digits made him the most impressive giant of his time, surpassing even Goliath and his brothers. If you were unaware of the story of Goliath's giant brothers, please leave your comments below. If you were already familiar with it, feel free to share your observations in the comments. Let us know if you would like us to continue this series about the giants. We hope you enjoyed this detailed story about each of these giants. See you soon.